name's Lynda Gaiao and welcome to this week's episode. Today we're going to be talking about trait 12, which is caution. This is really about exploring whether you are in the mood or not to have this social interaction with others. Trait 12 is part of the individual circuitry, and usually the traits that are in the individual circuitry are not really social, because in order to be unique, to have a unique expression in this world, there is this element of not being influenced by the group or the tribe or the collective. However, the whole channel of 1222, which 22 is on the other side of trait 12, has got this social element to it. So this is where those that are individual get to kind of communicate with the groups, with the tribes, with the collective, and bring their unique perspective, their mutative way, their transformative way to the tribe, which is healthy for the tribe. It's important for the tribe. And in this particular trait, what we see here is this caution, or this standing still. And what that is about is contemplation. So perhaps a unique idea or perspective or way of seeing the world comes to you, and then rather than just blurting it out or sharing it with people, it's about waiting, allowing it to percolate, connecting into your mood and whether you feel in the mood to share or to socialize. And then on the other side, also being a bit perceptive around whether or not the people that you are speaking to are actually open to hearing what you have to say. So this element of timing is really crucial with this particular trait. It has to be the right time and the right mood for you, and there has to be the right receptivity from your audience. And when these things line up, the words that come out of your mouth are not necessarily the most important, but it's more about the energy or the frequency, the tone of the words that gets communicated through you at that point in time, that's going to have the most impact. And there's this potential to really shift the dynamics of how people interact, how they communicate, and how they see the world potentially, because of this new way, this individual perspective on how to do things differently from the way you've done them before. So there's this mutative and transformative quality that comes with this expression of this individual voice. So those with this particular trait 12, it's in the communication and action. So it is all about expression, and it's about individual expression. It's about that sharing of something new. And quite often the most impact that you're going to have is when you are sharing or communicating with strangers, not necessarily with those that you're familiar with. Now, in the terms of a business context, if we think about when we're trying to market our business, if we don't feel the words, the energy, the dynamic of the marketing as we are creating it or putting it out into the world, what happens is those that are reading the marketing are not going to feel it either. So this week may be a good time for you to really tune into, pay attention to be aware of if you're in the mood or not, and that receptivity on the other side. And perhaps if those line up for you, that timing is correct, you could create some amazing marketing material. And that whole energy dynamic of, maybe the images, the tone, the frequency of the message that gets shared is going to have that opportunity of really having a great impact on your clients or on your audience. What I'd also get you to pay attention to this week is if you are sharing a message, perhaps you're doing a public speaking event, or you've got prospective new clients coming in, really tuning into whether the audience is open to hearing from you. Because this whole week, if you don't have that caution, if you're just going to blab whatever comes out, you're going to find a disconnect. So even though you may have prepared or rehearsed, somehow that connection between you and your audience is not going to happen this week. So I would advise you to really pay attention to the timing, and you may find yourself either having a lot more caution than you normally do have in terms of business and where you're moving. Or you may find yourself on the opposite end of that spectrum, throwing caution to the wind. So just watching how those show up for you in the business context. What I'd get you to pay attention to this week as this energy dynamic unfolds over the next couple of days is looking around in your world around you, in your business, in the news, in the media, and noticing what individual voices are coming forward. You know, where are you hearing something new that you haven't heard from someone that you've been listening to in the past, or perhaps there's a totally new person that's come into your field of receptivity, and the voice, the message that they have to share, what they're expressing into the world is like, wow, this is awesome, this is something completely new, and this is a whole new way that we could communicate with each other or have this new social dynamic between us. And start paying attention to any strangers that you happen to connect with in your life, and that feeling of being social or not. And when you are feeling social, notice what words come out, what words naturally express out of you, because we've all got access to this energy at the moment, whether we have trait 12 or not in our design. And you know, when you get to either receive a message from someone, something new, or share a message, is there a change in the dynamic or how you interact with each other, or those people that have been impacted by that expression, that individual and unique expression? I'd also pay attention to your moods this week, because your moods are going to be really crucial in helping you to have that correct timing. And if you're not in the mood, practice stillness, practice being silent, practice this contemplation, and kind of just let it percolate and filter through until the timing is right and you are in the mood. And just noticing the difference between sharing when you're in the mood and there's this receptivity, and when you just blab it out. Like how much does that message connect, and how much of a disconnect is there? Because we're dealing with individual circuitry and an individual trait, the theme of melancholy can show up this week, because you know, there's going to be the highs and lows of the emotional element that's going to come in here, and you may find yourself feeling that there's nothing new, or you don't feel social and you feel like you're never going to be social ever again in your life, or you may feel over social more than you used to and you feel like it's too draining. So there's all these different aspects that are going to come into play here with both the individual circuitry as well as the emotional element of this particular channel. So just try to pay attention to not making decisions on emotional highs and lows, to really wait for clarity. You don't want to have like this over the top kind of emotional energy, whether it's on the top or the bottom. You want to feel like this even calmness, this clarity within inside of you before you move forward with any decisions this week. And there may be some pressure here to be more social, or to not be as social as you usually are. So just pay attention to those and see how it shows up for you. I'd love to hear from you to see, did you come up with some amazing marketing? Did your message really connect with your audience in an amazing way? How did this energy show up for you this week? Please pop any stories or comments or questions in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Each week I release a new video where I share some more information about the particular trait and how that shows up for us. So if you want to make sure that you don't miss out on any of those, hit subscribe and you will get a notification each week when the new trait becomes active. In the meantime, I hope you have an awesome week, and I look forward to connecting with you again next week. Bye for now.